So, kind of like we were talking, there was well, I know we started a project or two late in 2022. Well, if you look at the Fed graph and the date, and those probably those don't line up too well. The interest rates were going up at
Right.
at a steep angle at that point. What were we thinking? Uh,
Yeah.
and so, I used to tell people would give me more credit than I was due. They always did, and I would say, "Look, I'm not that cool."
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm excited to be here. I always have fantastic guests, and today is no different. This one might be slightly a little bit more special, just a little bit. And I think most of us here, we've heard of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think this gentleman has a unique kind of relationship to that book, but I'll let him decide if he's going to tell you that because I didn't get permission. So I'll let him decide. If he don't tell you, hey, listen, I teased you. It is what it is. But this gentleman has been what he's been doing. He's been in the game for 30 years. So definitely know what he's doing. Cut his teeth in multifamily, but really has just exceeded in different asset classes. And I know you're going to find a wealth of knowledge from this gentleman. So I want to introduce you to some and present to others because some of you listening, you may already know him. But I want to introduce you to some and present to others, Mr. Tom Burns. Mr. Tom, how you doing today, sir?
Doing awesome, Quentin. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing great. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm trying to be professional, but I'm a little giddy, if I'm being honest over here, because I know you're going to add so much value because you've already added value just with us talking, but I know our audience is going to get a ton of value from you. And so, Mr. Tom, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to dive right in. I want you to tell the people what your main focus is these days. If you want to give us a little bit of an origin story of kind of how you got into real estate, we love the hero's journey. And then if you don't mind, tell us what part of the world you're in. And so, Mr. Tom, sir, you have the floor.
All right. Well, here I am. I'm in Austin, Texas, and it's going to be 80 degrees today. So that's one of the things I love about Austin. One of the things I don't love is we built too many apartments, so rents are crashing. But anyway, that's another story. I am primarily I'm actually kind of winding up a private equity company of about 15 years that did multifamily development. Prior to that, we did some acquisitions, and then recently have done some acquisitions, but I'm kind of in a wind up phase for that right now. And how did I get there? You said an origin story. So, well, I started as a doctor, and so I was an orthopedic surgeon, sports doctor, trained in Vail, Colorado. I take care of the US ski team, so my kids are actually in Livigno right now. They're trying to jump, they're jumping today actually. So, but it's been postponed, the trainer tells me. Anyway, so that's what I do. I travel with the ski team. I operated and did surgery on a bunch of people, and uh my journey in the real estate world started when I was getting trained. So
Mhm.
we train on an apprenticeship model. It's about 5 years of, people that are ahead of you that are training you. So there were these doctors that are 10, 20, 30 years older than me. They were teaching me how to be an orthopedic surgeon. Well, I learned that, but I also learned the fact that they weren't very happy. They were on their
Mm,
second and third marriages. They were in the hospital late. They were complaining about not having control. I figured one day that I didn't necessarily want their money if I had to have their life. So I started looking for something. I ended up on real estate because it was slow. I could do it with partners. I could do it part time. I didn't have to be the smartest tack in the box.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So
Mm.
I didn't have two nickels to rub together, but I learned a bit about real estate. And eventually, once I got out and started, playing doctor for real, I still didn't have a ton of money, but I started buying some things. And just like everybody, started with something really small, a small little 2-bedroom, 1-bath thing. And I bought it and I got addicted to the cash flow. And I asked the guy, I said, "Do you have another one of these things?" He goes, "Yeah, I got one down the street." And I was scared to death to buy the first one. I was still scared to buy the second one, but you know how that goes. You start learning. And so I
Mm.
got better and better and better. I got to know that market like the back of my hand. I could buy stuff sight unseen. I was buying stuff for no money down, which I don't recommend. I just knew more than the sellers at that point. That grew into buying, multiple units at a time. And then partners came on, and all of a sudden, so buying a bunch of different stuff. We started buying apartments. We started building apartments.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
taking you through my life here.
Keep
So
going.
that's about 30 years. Now here we are kind of
Yes.
winding down that story. So I tried to really
Yeah.
condense that, but it's been quite a ride, made plenty of mistakes along the way. So I'm supposed to be wise now, but instead I'm still, still fighting fires, but that's life.
Man, Mr. Tom, thank you, man. Thank you for taking us on a journey. Listen, I was writing down what I call your resume. Private equity company. You transitioned out of that. But, I had that for the last 15 years. Started out as a doctor, a sports doctor. Then you talked about the apprenticeship model that kind of got you started. But then people was in it and it was like, hey, you see people in their second marriage, third marriage. So you knew there was something that could be better for you, more advantageous, right? A better tool. And this real estate thing was a tool that would give you your time back, really give you control of your placement within your family. And I love it. And so, Mr. Tom, I have a saying where I say destiny has no wasted moments, right? Meaning no matter what we go through in life, there are things that we acquire, skills that we acquire, mindsets that we acquire that make us who we are today. And so, Mr. Tom, I would love to know throughout your journey, 30 years, what has destiny shown you about yourself? Like, what is it about you that makes you who you are today in the moments have shown you that about yourself?
Man, I tell you. So, I hope that it's shown that I'm resilient
Oof.
because which is really key in anything to survive. I mean, if you look at, I use the Olympic thing again. Look at those folks. They got to be resilient because they fall all the time. They
Mm.
lose. Eventually, the one that wins is the one that keeps getting up. So I hope I've learned that because the journey's not been perfect. Anybody that sits up on any stage or gets on a podcast and says that, gives the Facebook post that shows everything was perfect, they're not telling you the truth.
Yeah.
I had all kinds of mistakes. So I also learned that I'm impetuous or I was impetuous and I sometimes didn't do enough diligence and,
Mm.
all those things you learn and you get wiser and smarter as time goes on. So I guess to wrap it all up, I've enjoyed the journey. I enjoy life. There's a ton to experience. And so, my core values are adventure, connection, and growth. And so
Ooh.
I've enjoyed growing each day.
Wow, that's a great philosophy. That's something to really ponder on. And so I love how you talked about people want to get on here, they want to show the kind of like Instagram real part of success. But I like for us to talk about the journey to success. And I love how you've used the word mistakes. Mistakes is a word that you are not shying away from. And so I would love to know adversity. How has adversity shown itself within your journey and how have you overcame it?
So, kind of like we were talking, there was well, I know we started a project or two late in 2022. Well, if you look at the Fed graph and the date and those probably those don't line up too well. The interest rates were going up
Right.
at a steep angle at that point. What were we thinking? Uh
Yeah.
and so, I used to tell people would give me more credit than I was due. They always did. And I would say, look, I'm not that cool. But
Mm.
they always thought I was cooler than I thought I was. And then when things went bad, there's like, they thought I was worse than I was, you know? So
Yeah.
people that do this, it's like everybody's going to make their mistakes and have their good points.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I've learned a lot. You know, I've learned to really step back and try to see the whole picture. And if I can't see the whole picture, I
Mm,
personally like to have somebody else in there, whether it be a mentor, advisor, coach,
mm.
partner, somebody that can see you from the outside because we can't see ourselves. I'm a tennis player. I always think I know how I'm stroking the ball, but I bring my camera out and video myself. Funny,
Yeah,
I never look on camera like I think I look. So I need somebody being that camera for me, telling me, "Tom, you're not thinking about this. There's this risk, there's that risk, or here's this opportunity." So that's what I've really learned is to do things as a team and to listen to your advisors or mentors or whoever you choose to ask advice from.
yeah. Oh, Mr. Tom, such good advice, man. And so I have to ask, got a good picture of where you are. I believe you have a good picture of where you're going. So what's next for you? What's the next real goal? What are you looking to solve or scale next, Mr. Tom?
Well, one of them's a little personal. I'm trying to get a really high ranking on the tennis court in my age group, but that's fun. We got to have something, right? So that's like a growth thing. It's actually just fun, totally fun. But I think what I'm trying to do currently, as I kind of may have told you, I'm sort of still playing defense. I'm trying to
Mm,
get everything squared away,
yeah.
projects that we started, because my job is to protect my investors. And so far, we've not done capital calls. My partner and I have put the money in if there's needed money for these projects. So
Yeah.
we're protecting investors. We're winding up projects. That's still probably going to take a year or two. As that happens, probably we'll start another project, probably well, certainly in the real estate world and potentially in the multifamily world. So it's kind of in between, kind of intermission, here, Quentin,
Yeah.
intermission, halftime, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. I love the you have a way of saying these phrases that just kind of put things in perspective. I love the intermission, right? Like this is not the end. This ain't the stop. This is just intermission. This is just a pause to figure out what's next, and to do it with clarity and vision. I absolutely love it. And so listen, 30 years, I believe you probably built, and I guess I know, probably built a lot of relationships over the years. But Mr. Tom, I want to talk about relationships just for a little bit. What is your perspective on relationships? Is it important? How has it benefited you? Talk to me a little bit about relationships, Mr. Tom.
Man, well, that's part of that connection thing, right? So I get my, jollies off of connecting with people. I remember once I had some surgery and I had to like stay home for 3 months. I just found a conference. I don't even know if I was interested in the subject. I just found a conference because I knew there'd be a bunch of people there. Well, I know that's goofy, but
No, that's beautiful. I love it.
so, but the relationships are important, and then there's multiple levels. There's of course there's your spouse, there's your family. I mean, that's
Mm,
number one, and that's always been number one for me. So I have frequently canceled work or canceled projects so I could do things with the family. So that was priority number one. That was particularly when the kids were young. They're now adults, and they're both smarter than I am now. The relationships with your friends and your family. Well, I did family. The relationship with your friends and partners
mm,
is also important. We know people live longer. You look at those blue zones right over in Europe. They've all got community. So community
mm,
is important for our longevity, for our mental health, et cetera, et cetera. And then as we want to grow, I personally believe that nobody wins alone. Nobody's an island. So even the people that look like even the Elon Musks of the world that have made all this, there's a lot of teams behind those folks. So I believe community is really important for your financial world, for your health world, and for your family. So I'm a big fan.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
So I want to thank you. I probably do over 100 of these podcasts a month. And probably almost every podcast, I probably say healing happens in community. And I try to really stress that point because when you have community, common unity, people who link up with a common goal, it creates this ecosystem where you thrive. It creates an ecosystem where you heal mentally, financially, physically, even. And so I love how you said that when you're in a healthy environment, you can't help but heal. So when you're in a healthy environment, you take on a kind of holistic approach to almost everything that you do. And so I love that you talked about that healing component within community. Mr. Tom, is there any topic that I have not brought up that you would like to talk about? And or is there any other words of inspiration, motivation, education that you want to give to the people? If there is, Mr. Tom, I would love to hear it, sir.
Sure. I mean, this is so I've got this group I talk to, a little mastermind, and everybody always wants, they always ask how. First,
Mm.
somebody will say, what are your goals? They'll say, oh, I want to be worth X million dollars. And my first question is why? Why do you really want to be worth that? Do you want to prove to your dad that you're not worthless? Do you want to travel the world? Do you, there are lots of reasons as you peel that onion, right? And so when I talk to the folks, they always want to know, how do I do this? How do I do that? And that stuff's, it is important. The how is important. Uh, the money part is important. It's one pillar of wealth, and I think there's about 7 pillars of wealth. So money's one of them. If that's the only one you've got, your wealth's going to come crumbling down. So it's really, well, wealth and what I call a rich life is really mindset. Part of
Mm.
it's money, part of it's your community, part of it's what you know, your intelligence, your experiences, your health, the amount of time that you have, the time you spend with family. So, you know, I I encourage people to really truly, it sounds so Tony Robbins and so woo-woo, people would say, to just figure out why you're doing stuff. And that's why I told you this morning I was sort of forced into doing a little bit of a vision board. I've done that before, but in deference to somebody I'm learning something from, they wanted to have, what's your vision statement? So I created a new vision statement. And, that's not so easy. You got to really dig down and find out what you really want, and why you're doing things, because folks, it's not always going to be easy. There's going to be good times. You're going to feel you're really smart. Sadly, you'll probably be half wrong because we none of us know everything. And then when things turn around, that's when you find out where your weaknesses are. It's okay to have weaknesses. We just want to learn
Mm.
from them. So make sure you know why, because when you're going through those tough times, you want something that pulls you out of that. So
Mm.
anyway, that's my advice to folks.
So Tom, again, I thank you so much because I often say this on this podcast as well. When you know who you are, you know what to do. That's something I got from a mentor a
Right.
while back that has stabilized me. No matter what I get into, when I know who I am, I know what to do. So knowing your why, such good advice. Thank you so much, Mr. Tom. Hey,
Awesome.
listen, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, collaborate with you, learn more about what you're doing, how can they get in contact with you, Mr. Tom?
Sure. I've got a website. It's going to sound kind of boastful or hokey, whatever, but it's richdoctor.com, richdoctor.com. I've got a lot of free resources on there, and you can contact me there, or you can contact me through hello@richdoctor.com. I get all those, and I answer all my emails. So it's just, I've got a website it's got free resources. I have a book that I wrote that's, really about creating passive income, and it's called Why Doctors Don't Get Rich.
Mm.
It's on Amazon. So if you can't remember that, send me an email. I'll tell you how to get it. And I don't.
Absolutely.
And I tell people I hardly make any money selling a book. It's not going to change my life if you buy the book, but it might change yours. So
Yeah.
it's a
Woo!
cheap investment.
Mr. Tom, I got to say three things to you, sir. So first, thank you for your time, right? Because we know time is our most precious commodity. You could be doing anything with your time, but you're here with us today. So thank you for that. Two, thank you for your story. I believe stories have a way of planting seeds in people's life that you don't know when it's going to really produce like a harvest, but the seed is there. And I believe our stories plant seeds in people's lives that have the possibility to produce a harvest that we may never see. Just like what you said with your book, you may not make money off of a lot of money, but it may change somebody's life. So thank you for your story. And lastly, thank you for your perspective. Thank you for your mindset and bringing that mindset to this platform. I greatly appreciate you, Mr. Tom.
My pleasure. I really appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all heard Mr. Tom. You got the value. You can't tell me you didn't. Check the show notes, get the book, check out his website, get in contact with him. But definitely make sure you are subscribed here because I keep promising you, and I tell you, call me out when I don't do it. When I make a promise and don't do it, call me out. We're going to continue to have amazing people, amazing minds, just like Mr. Tom, that's going to continue to come up and add value to the show. And so, Mr. Tom, I say thank you again. And to everyone else, y'all have a fantastic day.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.